Start making some noise. Come on, start clapping for Sapan Verma, everybody. Yes.
Hello, good evening. Hi guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. It's good to be here. I love live show audiences. आप लोग अच्छे जोक्स पे हंसते हो. यही जोक हम लोग ऑनलाइन अपलोड करते हैं. पहला कमेंट आता है, हंसना था क्या? People are damn rude online. True story. Last month this happened to me. Last month I put out a photo of myself on Instagram. Normal photo, like we all put up photos. First comment on that photo from a random guy was, "Why have you put on so much weight?" Actually, I'm just being polite. उसने हिंदी में लिखा था. He said, भाई आप इतना सूज कैसे गए? It really hurt me. The fact that you guys laughed so loudly hurt even more. I did not reply to him, but some of my followers, very kind people, they started fighting with this guy in the comments. They were like, "What's your problem? तेरे बाप का खाना खा रहा है क्या वो?" All true comments. Mind your own business. Let him be. Which was all very sweet, right? They were all defending me. Obviously, it was very sweet. But it really hurt me that none of them commented saying, "No, he has not put on any weight." One girl commented saying, "His body, his choice." I was like, मैं इतना मोटा हो गया हूँ क्या यार? मुझे slogans की जरूरत पड़ रही है डिफेंड करने की. I have put on some weight, I won't deny it, and I've been trying to lose weight for the last 10-12 years, and it's not really. So it's not even a joke. I don't know why you're laughing. But I've realized one thing: as you get older, you don't get fitter. You just lower your own standards of fitness. Yeah. Oh, that really stuck with you guys, huh? Like when I was 20, my fitness goal was I want six-pack abs. I reached 30, my goal changed to I just want a flat stomach. And nipples that don't pop out of t-shirts like this. Now my fitness goal is I don't want to feature in a body positivity commercial. I'm not even working out anymore. I am just waiting for Ozempic to get cheaper. जिस दिन Ozempic Zepto पे मिलने लगेगी, my fitness journey will begin. But I've given up so much that I have now started lying to my own dietitian. That's where I'm at now. Like once a year I go to a dietitian for a health checkup, and if you've been there, you will know this. The first question they ask you when you reach there is, "Tell me about your routine. What time do you wake up? What do you eat? Tell us everything." This time when I went there and she asked me this, in my head I was like, what's the point? We've been doing this for 7 years. What's the point? I will tell you I wake up at noon. I eat breakfast for lunch. I feel guilty. I try to eat healthy in the evening. Then 10 p.m. Swiggy sends me one slutty notification saying, "जग रहे हो? गुलाब जामुन बुला रहे हैं." And then I go into a spiral. What's the point? So this time when she asked me saying, "Tell me about your routine," I didn't know what to say. So whatever she had asked me to do last year, I just gave that back to her. Word for word. I was like, "Ma'am, I start my day at 8 a.m. with some warm water and apple cider vinegar. 10 a.m. is breakfast, green tea and 2 egg whites, no yellows. 1:30 is lunch, 2 bajra chapatis, 2 bowls of lentils and some green leafy vegetables on the side. And 6 p.m. is light dinner like soup or salad, and by 6:37 I go to sleep." This meeting was at 8 p.m. But I thought she would be very impressed with this. She would have no notes. But she read my routine and she was like, "Sapan, if you have been following this routine for the last 1 year, and if you are still putting on weight, then you have thyroid. You have a bigger problem to solve now." I also blame Instagram for putting on weight because there are too many fitness influencers giving too much random advice. I don't know who to trust anymore. Like I've been following this influencer from Delhi for the last 1 year, mainly because I'm very jealous of his life. Because this is what he does, okay? He has put a blood sugar monitor on his arm. Every day he eats one food item. And he's like, आज हम देखते हैं छोले भटूरे खाने से मेरे blood sugar को क्या होता है. Then he eats a full plate of छोले भटूरे. And then he says, "ओहो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया. मैंने तो खा लिया पर आप बिल्कुल मत खाना." This is his job. I am so jealous of him. Next day he's like, आज देखते हैं भजिया खाने से. अरे क्या होगा यार, सबको पता है. And the thing is, I've been following this guy for almost a year now. He has run out of food items. So last month he put a video saying, आज हम देखेंगे black label और coke पीने से. हम लगे ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा नहीं हो गया? सबको पता है क्या होगा इससे. कुछ भी ऐसे ये भी देख लो ना, बारिश में खड़े होने से गीले होते हैं क्या? क्या चल के रहा है? So now I am following this guy not for health advice but just to get recos on what to order tonight. I'm like, भाई ने भजिए खाया, भजिए हो जाए भाई. But I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like last 1.5 years, I have a fairly good excuse for why my lifestyle has been so hectic. I will share some personal update with you guys. I recently became a father. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was all me, yeah. I take full credit. Pregnancy was tough, but I'm back. And I have a daughter now. I'm very happy about it. Only problem, I'll be honest with you guys, very weird being a father and a stand-up comedian at the same time. Every night when I leave the house to come to these venues to crack jokes, I know that there is this girl at home who's desperately waiting for me to get back. Right? She's probably angry right now. She's probably crying on the floor right now. And there is also my daughter. And it's okay, my wife has approved that joke, you can laugh, okay? But I'm truly very happy that I got a daughter because I always wanted a girl, did not want a boy for sure. For sure, my order of preference was girl, cat, dog, parrot, chihuahua. Because let's be honest, chihuahuas are not dogs. They're a separate species called assholes. And maybe last case scenario, boy. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I have been a boy myself. In fact, I come from a family of boys. I have 2 elder brothers. 3 boys is not a family, it's a terror group. I have no idea how my parents survived this, dude. And as a professional full-time boy, I have realized that boys are just angry and aggressive all the time. For no reason, especially the teenage years, I can't handle that, dude. Like I remember my school life, teenage years, lunch break in my school, girls are playing sweet games like dumb charades, like Antakshari. Boys are playing WWF Smackdown. Just beating the shit out of each other for no reason. The most famous game amongst boys in my school was this game called Pungi. Some of you getting nostalgic. Pungi, if you don't know, very simple game. A boy would stand in front of you, twist your nipples hard for 30 seconds, scream Pungi, leave, game over. Who won? I have no idea. Both lost in my opinion. And I also lost because I had to witness this firsthand. I always wanted a girl, did not want a boy. But to be fully honest with you, I was one of those people who did not want kids only. Till 28, 29, I was pretty sure. I was like, who wants kids? Kaun itne paise kharche karega, itna effort dalega? My wife was also on the fence about it. But then we saw our friends who had also chosen not to have kids. Yeah, people say these words. We have decided to be child-free. Child-free, like it's a disease like cancer-free and child-free. People who decide not to have kids, once they cross 30, they have so much free time. They don't know what to do with it. So they start developing very annoying hobbies. Like running marathons. Playing pickleball, calling it a sport. And worst of the lot, people who force you to play board games with them. I hate board games, people. When I saw those guys, I was like, listen bro, I would rather go through the pain and the torture of raising a child for the rest of my life than listen to this grown-ass man-child with no personality tell me once again how Uno reverse works. I am not falling for this shit. Especially if you're a couple. If you're a couple and your idea of fun is let's invite people to our house this weekend and play board games, just cheat on each other. Just to spice up your life a little bit. I will sleep with you after the show if you want. Just to make your life a little more interesting than board games. But I'll be honest, not everybody who's 30 plus and child free is boring and annoying. Some people really know how to live their lives. Like I have a lot of friends of mine who are very extroverted, very outgoing, very fun. And the thing is, secretly I'm very jealous of their life. But now that my wife and I have a kid, we try to console each other that our life is better than theirs. Last month I was like, तूने रोहन की Insta story देखी? Yesterday he went to Lollapalooza and tomorrow he's going for a bachelor's trip to Bali. So irresponsible, right? Who wants that life, right? Yuck, so exhausting. I don't want. You want it? I don't want it. I am very happy changing diapers at 3 a.m. Woo! So at around 30, my wife and I decided maybe that we want to have a child. So my wife said, Sapan, the first thing I want to do is I want to go to a gynac and do a couple of tests to see if we are medically fit to conceive. I said, okay, cool. Now both of us did not know who's a good, reliable gynac in Mumbai. My father said one of his old friends is a gynac in Mumbai. We can go and consult him. I said, okay, cool. So true story, my first visit to a gynac at the age of 30 was me, my wife, and my father. This medical test turned into a parent-teacher meeting. So we went to this clinic, my wife and I sat down. My father just looked inside to say hi to the doctor. Doctor ने पापा को अंदर ही बुला लिया. Like, वर्मा जी बाहर क्यों खड़े, अंदर आइए. My father is like, नहीं मैं बाहर वेट करता हूँ, बच्चे बात करेंगे. Like, अरे आइए आपके लिए चाय बिस्किट वगैरह मंगवाता हूँ. Problem is Indian parents को चाय सुन के कुछ तो हो जाता है. They cannot say no. Chai has some hypnotic property. You can ask them for anything after offering them chai. You can dangle a tea bag and be like, OTP, OTP. They will give you OTP also. So my father came and sat inside with us. Thankfully, one nurse took my wife inside, drew the curtain, did the test, which was all good. The problem is when the reports arrived, this doctor not talking to me or my wife, only talking to my dad. And he said this, I'm not kidding. He said, everything is good to go. In fact, Verma Saab, I can see some eggs right now. If they go home and try tonight, ho jayega. The drive back home was so awkward. We reached home, my father is trying to make random plans with my mom. Suddenly acting nice and romantic. He's like, चलिए आपको लेट नाइट मूवी दिखा के लाते हैं. बच्चों को घर पे छोड़ देते हैं, लोग अपना प्रोग्राम वगैरह करेंगे. प्रोग्राम वगैरह कौन बोलता है यार? प्रोग्राम वगैरह is the worst slang for sex I've heard in my life. The problem is my mom has no context of what has happened in the clinic. So she's getting no hints at all. She's like, कोई अच्छी पिक्चर नहीं लगी, मैं कहीं नहीं जाने वाली. घर बैठ के KBC देखूंगी. My father is like Spider-Man 3 लगी, उसमें 3 Spider-Man है, वो देख के आते हैं. All this stupidity is happening in the living room. My wife very upset in the bedroom. She's like, Sapan, I can't believe how today went. This gynac checkup is a very personal, very intimate thing for women. This doctor was very insensitive. He involved your father also. I was not very comfortable with this conversation. So can we postpone this discussion for a couple of months? And I was like, sure, as you wish. So we postponed the discussion, we resumed our lives, and this time went by, months became years, we became 32, 33. Suddenly at 33, she woke up again, she's like, listen, time to revisit this conversation, time is running out. So I want to go to a gynac again, but this time, Sapan, I will find a doctor. And your father cannot come along. And I was like, okay, but what about his chai? I didn't have the guts to say that. Okay. So she found a doctor, very good gynac, very sensitive, very sensible. We went and did the test. He said, guys, everything is good to go. I just want to discuss a couple of things before we proceed. Firstly, is either of you taking any kind of medication right now? So I said, yes, sir, I'm taking some medication for hair fall because I'm losing a lot of hair. He's like, yeah, I can see that. I'm like, इतना ज़्यादा भी नहीं हो रहा है. ठीक है ना, इतना conscious करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है मुझे, थोड़े गिरे हैं मेरे बाल. He's like, can you tell me what is the exact drug in your hair fall medicine? So I quickly checked my prescription and I said that my medicine has dutasteride and finasteride in it. He freaked out. He's like, oh my God, Sapan, you cannot conceive on that medication at all. And I was like, why? The baby will be born with silky, smooth, luscious hair? Are you jealous of my baby's hair, doctor? He's like, no, Sapan, that medicine has a lot of side effects. How do you not know? It can cause erectile dysfunction. It can cause depression. And I was like, that makes sense because if I have erectile dysfunction, obviously I'll be depressed. And he's like, this is not funny. It can cause chronic migraines. It can cause blood pressure issues. In fact, this medication can enter your baby's fetus and cause growth and developmental issues. And I was like, sir, एक बात बताओ, ये दवाई बाल झड़ना रोकने के अलावा बाकी सब कर लेती है क्या? साइड इफेक्ट 17 गिना दिया आपने, एक बार नहीं बोला मेरे बाल वापस आ जाएंगे. So he was like, I'm sorry, but you have to get off that medication. And the second thing, I don't like saying it, but biological clock is a thing. So I want you guys to start trying this month onwards. And I want you guys to start trying aggressively. I was like, thank you so much for convincing my wife. I've been trying to tell her. He's like, that's not what I mean by aggressive. I was like, sorry, please explain aggressively. So he did the math and he said this. He said, every month for the 10 days around ovulation, I want you guys to try twice a day, every alternate day. And I was like, doctor, can you please write it on a prescription paper and give it to me? Because that would be amazing, right? If a doctor prescribes it to you like that, saying Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sexy time. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Recovery time. Sunday, performance review. He didn't write it, obviously, but we started trying, and I will skip that part of the story because obviously it's very intimate, very personal, and I'm not a content creator. But you were able to conceive, you were able to have a baby. But it's one thing I've realized over the last 1.5 years. Obviously, everybody knows it in theory, but when you see it firsthand, you realize that women go through so much more with childbirth than men, dude. Like physically, mentally, emotionally, hormonally. My wife had to go through so much. I was just chill, dude. Like I'm telling you, if having a baby is like cooking biryani, then men are just providing elaichi. That is our only contribution, and that is not a size joke. Don't take it personally, okay? I can't speak for other men, but I was very immature, very dumb. True story, I did not even know what a pregnancy test looks like because I had never seen one before. And thank God for that. The problem is I have seen a COVID RT-PCR test. I didn't know both of them look similar. So when my wife sent me a photo on WhatsApp saying it's positive, I reached home, locked her into the bedroom for isolation. Started wearing a mask and a PPE kit. And she was like, Sapan, I think it is too late to wear protection now. That ship has sailed. I was very immature. I'll tell you the worst story that my wife still hates me for, okay? I was inside the operation theatre on the day of the delivery, okay? My wife's on that bed. There are about 8 doctors and nurses around her, okay? The doctor does the surgery. The baby comes out. He says, congratulations, it's a girl. This is the biggest moment of my life. I am in tears. My wife is in tears. We celebrate. We see the baby. Now, after that, they take the baby inside for weight check and other exams and all. And they start wrapping up the surgery, which takes about 45 minutes. I was still inside the operation theatre. But 10 minutes into it, I start getting so bored that I took out my phone and started watching reels on Instagram. This is the biggest moment of my life. My wife is bleeding over there. I'm like, let me see what Dua Lipa ate for breakfast today. Even after the surgery, my wife is hospitalized for 5 days. You know, so much medication, so many injections, eating bland hospital food. Nothing else allowed for her. I am sitting right next to her, Googling best pav bhaji near me. Because मुझे सब allowed है. मैं दिन में 3 बार स्विगी से खाना मंगवा रहा हूँ. Yeah, my brother called me saying, bro, how was the delivery? I'm like, pizza ठंडा है पर garlic bread amazing. My head was just there. But a lot of things change once you have kids. A lot of things. You don't realize the amount of things that change once you have a kid. For example, my Spotify Wrapped completely different last year. Top performing artist used to be Coldplay, now it is Coco Melon. And the problem is you play all these nursery rhymes for your kids all day, every day. And at some point, these songs get stuck in your subconscious also. You don't realize it when it happens. Like the other day, I was taking a shower and I started singing. I was like, wheels on the bus go round and round. Where the fuck is this coming from? It felt worse that I did round and round like this on my nipples. And now this image is stuck in your head also. A lot of things change. Like people who don't have kids, you know, you will not understand the change that happens. Like when I did not have a child, I used to never even look at school kids and all. You know, I would just pass by. There's a school near my house. I would pass by every day. Did not even look at kids. No emotional value, no attachment at all. But now that I have a daughter of my own, the other day I was passing the school and these kids came out. And I got so emotional looking at them. I was just standing there looking at them and smiling. And I was standing there and looking at them and smiling. And I think I stood for a little too long and smiled. And now I'm not allowed near the school anymore. Wonder why. Now this new generation, doctors are telling you a lot of things. They're like gentle parenting, no screen time, no processed food, no sugar, no maida. I realized basically I am raising a very expensive Bandra girl. Her blood group is matcha positive. Preferred pronouns are bougie. That's who I'm raising. And I'm telling you, that's one thing. If you're planning to have kids, I'll tell you one thing. It is quite expensive to raise kids. And I'll be honest, I am already jealous of my daughter's lifestyle. Her life is too fancy, dude. Her first birthday cake, her 10-day birthday cake. Firstly, there was a 10-day birthday cake. Her 10-day birthday cake was vegan and gluten-free. I'm like, what the hell? Everybody knows you're supposed to start with Mongini's Black Forest cake. And then work your way up the ladder. I had to buy a stroller for her to take her down for walks and all, like stroller pram, whatever you call it. One of my friends sent me a link of a stroller worth 75,000 rupees. 75 to do this. I'm like, bro, उतने में Honda Activa आ जाएगा यार. वो कॉलेज तक जा पाएगी उसमें. मैं शाम को स्विगी डिलीवरी करूंगा, एक्स्ट्रा पैसे कमाऊंगा. It's the only way I can afford this lifestyle. It is expensive. I'll tell you about the weirdest phone call I had to make though. I had to hire a nanny to take care of my daughter, right? I found a number on Just Dial of an agency that provides nannies. So I called up this number, this man picked up. I said, sir, I want a nanny. He said, sir, बहुत nannies हैं, मैं आपको WhatsApp पे 8-10 nannies के profiles forward करता हूँ. You select who you like. I said, okay, cool. 10 minutes later, this guy sends me 10 photos of random women on WhatsApp. No profile. No text. No name also. Just 10 photos. Later message me saying, sir, कौन सी वाली पसंद आई? I was like, भैया बच्चे का मसाज करना है, मेरा नहीं. You know, I've done a lot of jokes about my daughter, but if I can be honest for a minute with you guys, I am so happy about this. Last 1 year, I've been very blessed to have a child, you know, and I just love spending time with her. I take the first flight back home whenever I can. I don't miss going out drinking, dancing, clubbing, because we dance together every night in our own house. And every time she's sleeping in my arms, I cannot believe it that this is my child, my daughter. And 15 years later, she's gonna tell me, fuck you, dad. And go drinking, dancing, clubbing with her friends. With my money. It is going to happen. But I'll tell you the sweetest story, okay? And my wife deserves full credit for it. My daughter turned 1 this year in May. So my wife had this beautiful idea, I thought. She said, let's get matching tattoos of her name on her birthday. So my daughter's name is Tara. So on her first birthday, my wife and I got this star tattoo on our fingers. Okay, which is a sweet idea, I thought. Sweet idea. The problem is she should have stopped there. Because after this, my wife had another idea. She was like, listen, Tara came into your life last year. But I have been with you for so many years. So I deserve a bigger tattoo next to her tattoo. So my wife's name is Chandani. She was like, why don't you get a moon also over here? And I was like, then this will look like the flag of Pakistan. I don't want geopolitical conflict in my hands. Man, I had a great time though. But I'll tell you something, if you're planning to have kids, just travel and enjoy your life a lot before you have kids, because for like 2-3 years after having a child, you have to be locked up, you have to take care of your child, right? So like 2-3 years before having a child, my wife and I, we traveled around the world a lot. We attended a lot of music festivals and things like that. And 3 years ago, there was one last thing left on my bucket list, which was, once I want to do drugs properly. And I'll be honest with you, judge me, I am a very boring person. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, nothing. I'm very scared of these things. I do nothing. I am so scared of drugs that, true story, last year I was at a house party in Bandra where some people were doing cocaine. And one guy came and offered me cocaine. Firstly, I am so dumb, I don't even know the nicknames of these drugs. This guy came and said, bro, do you want some Charlie? And I was like, no, I have fresh lime soda. He was like, bro, Charlie. I was like, water when मैं घर से डाल के आया water. He's like, Abhay, bro, do you want to snort some cocaine? I got so scared in my head. I was like, oh, should I call the cops? That's how fattu I am. But the problem is, I am a stand-up comedian. I'm supposed to look cool. I can't be this fattu. So when this guy asked me, saying, do you want to snort some cocaine? I replied saying, not right now, bro. Maybe after dinner. What an uncle response to drugs. He's offering cocaine, not hajmola. कि बेटा खाने के बाद खाएंगे और खाना ही पच जाएगा, मुखवास जैसा हो जाएगा. And then I ran away from that party because that's how scared I am of these things. But I genuinely believe once in life you should enjoy everything. You should see what it's like. So like once I want to get high and see what is that high like, what is the experience like. But one thing I was sure about, I was like, India में तो मैं try नहीं करने वाला भाई. हाँ, allowed नहीं है. I don't want cops after me. भाई आर्यन खान को जेल भेज दिया था. याद है आपको? एक जॉइंट के लिए शाहरुख खान के बेटे को जेल भेज दिया था. मेरे साथ सोचो क्या क्या करेंगे. हाँ, दिन भर एक कमरे में बंद करके मन की बात सुनाएंगे जो भी. I don't want to get into this. I don't. The friends of mine who are experts in this industry, plant people, they told me about this. They said, bro, go to Amsterdam because weed is legal in Amsterdam. Did you guys know about this? Yeah? I did research and found out that 2 things that are not normally legal are legal in Amsterdam: prostitution and weed. I obviously did not go for prostitution because I was traveling with my Morals and values. Who said wife? Who said wife? Shame on you, sir. Disgusting behavior. It's 2025. We don't expect this from you. Okay? But I am so fattu that I actually went to the Amsterdam government's website and read all the laws around weed. And some crazy laws Amsterdam has, dude. I read this law, my favorite law. If police raids your house and finds less than 5 weed plants, they will just confiscate the plants and leave. That is so cute. Bro, I've got worse punishment in school for not cutting my nails properly. How chill are the cops? They're like, oh, you have extra, don't worry, we'll smoke a puff, puff, pass. The minute I read that law, I was like, Amsterdam is where we're going. So 3 years ago, my wife and I made a trip to Amsterdam. Again, my friends told me this. They said, वहाँ पे ना ये cafes होते हैं. So go to a cafe, forget a joint that's too basic. Try something called a space cookie. It's basically a weed brownie. I said, why is it called a space cookie if it's a weed brownie? They said, you will find out when you try it. I said, okay, cool. So my wife and I boarded the flight for somebody who does not do drugs at all. I was too excited. It's like I'm going to SL World or something. Landed over there, immigration officer was like, purpose of visit? I'm like, drugs. My wife's like, sorry, he means culture, tourism, history, museums. We went and checked into our hotel room without even having lunch. Directly found the nearest cafe, went in, asked for a space cookie. The lady at the counter who was selling it to me, she asked me, saying, sir, are you trying this for the first time? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. She's like, sir, let me tell you, this thing is very strong, very potent. Please eat only 1/4 of it and then wait for at least 45 minutes for it to take effect because it is very strong. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know this. Thank you so much. But in my head, I was like, ये गोरे लोग मुझे बताएंगे क्या स्ट्रांग होता है हम इंडियंस को बताएंगे इंडिया आते एक पानी पूरी खाते इनको लूज मोशन हो जाते हैं who are they to tell me what is strong at? So I came out in full excitement, broke the brownie into 2 halves, ate 1/2 of the brownie in one go on an empty stomach. Offered the rest of it to my wife. My wife, exactly as I expected, panicked and changed her mind last minute. You know that class topper who agrees to mass bunk with you? But then last minute, like, actually, I want 100% attendance certificate, yeah. My wife, exactly that character. Because I offered the brownie to her, she's like, actually, Sapan, I don't think I want to do this. I think I want to stay clean. I want to stay toxin-free and chemical-free because my body is a temple. And I'm like, well, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Your body is a temple, my body is an abandoned construction site. Everything illegal is allowed here tonight. So she was like, okay, you enjoy all this drugs and all business, but since I am not doing it, I want to decide where we go for dinner. I said, cool, sounds good. So she quickly did her research and found out about this one restaurant in Amsterdam called Ramen Kingdom, which serves the best ramen. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I am a very basic desi person. I don't understand all this Asian ramen food. I don't understand how to eat this with those chopsticks. Okay, there's a weird aftertaste to it. I don't like, plus we are vegetarians. क्या रामन डूड हक्का नूडल्स को जलजीरा में डाल के दे देते हैं 2 पत्ती लगा के और थोड़े बैंगन डाल के कि खाओ क्या मतलब है इसका बट आई कांट आर्ग्यू विथ हर ओके आई एम एंजॉयिंग माय हाई शी शुड डिसाइड so we walked to this place called Ramen Kingdom, tiny place, very famous place. So there was a big queue outside. We joined the queue. Half an hour went by, 1 hour went by, 90 minutes went by. But by now, I am feeling no high whatsoever. So now I am angry. I'm like, हमें बुद्धू बनाया है. There is nothing in those brownies. I have got a stronger sugar high from Theobroma brownies. We should go back and fight with that lady. My wife is like, listen, we've been standing for 90 minutes. I am very hungry. I am not moving an inch. Come and join the queue. So, with no other option in sight and out of desperation, I ate the second half of the brownie also on an empty stomach. While I was throwing the wrapper away, I just happened to read the instructions at the back of the wrapper. It said, it is very strong, very potent. Please eat only 1/4 of it and then wait for at least 2 to 3 hours. Not 45 minutes. 2 to 3 hours for it to take effect. So now because of that lady's false information, I have taken 4 times the quantity in half the duration. And the night has just begun. We go inside to eat this ramen. I don't even remember how we reached there. The bowls arrive. I take the first bite. I don't even like ramen as I told you. But the minute I took the first bite, the first half of the brownie hits me. Because suddenly I'm like, yo, this is the best shit in my life, bro. Let's go, best shit ever. I went fully high, dude. This was the best high of my life. I can't explain it to you guys in words. It was so good. I forgot all my life's worries. I forgot about my home loan. Forgot about my receding hairline. Forgot about the fact that in my college political science presentation, by mistake on stage, instead of saying Sonia Gandhi, I said Sonio. And everybody made fun of me for the entire semester. I forgot everything. I was enjoying my life, enjoying this high. The problem is this high lasted exactly 4 minutes. Because after that, I am guessing the second half of the brownie also hit me. And then I started passing out into the bowl of ramen like this. I start feeling breathless and I start hallucinating, thinking I'm actually drowning in a sea full of ramen. So inside this 20-seater Asian restaurant, while everybody else is eating ramen, I am trying to swim and save my life on this wooden table like... My wife is like, Sapan, what the fuck are you doing? What is going on? I'm like, listen, Chandni, I think I've overdone this thing. I think I'm going to collapse. Can you please take me back to the hotel? She's like, oh my God, this sounds very scary. Okay. I'll quickly pay the bill, then we can leave. I am still trying to be the man in the relationship. I'm like, you don't pay, I got this. That waiter got me a bill of 40 euros. I gave him a 500 rupee note saying, keep the change. 460, you enjoy. My wife is like, can you please not embarrass me? I'll pay, just relax. By this time, I am so high that I have started speaking in Amsterdam in Marathi. I am telling the waiter, mala party diya, bao, mala party diya. She's like, just relax. I'm like, okay, you pay the bill, I will book an Uber till then. I take out my phone. For the first 2-3 minutes, I can't see a single car on the map. I'm like, what the hell is this country, man? There's no Uber. She's like, Sapan, that is Google Maps. You're too high, you're creating a scene, give me everything, just sit down, I'll book a cab. My wife is very happy now. She books an Uber, she's like, the cab is coming in 4 minutes, get up, let's leave. I tried getting up. And that's when I found out why this thing is called a space cookie. Because when I tried getting up from a stool similar to this one, I didn't just get up and land on my 2 feet. I got up and I went into space directly. I was floating for a nice 20 minutes. Neil Armstrong passed by. Christopher Nolan was shooting Interstellar in one corner. Jadoo passed by saying, dhoop, 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 dhoop. I was like, yeah, bro, vitamin D is important. And finally, when I came back to my senses, I'm not kidding, I was on the floor of Ramen Kingdom like a dog on all fours like this. Saying, help, I can't get up. My wife was like, Sapan, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, people judge Indians in Europe, you're making it worse for us. She started saying sorry to everybody around. She said sorry to the staff at Ramen Kingdom. Staff super chill. They're like, bro, chill, this is Amsterdam. We see this shit at least thrice a day. Yesterday, one guy passed out waiting in the queue outside. His friend still came inside, ate the ramen and left. So you relax, take your time. I'm like, mala party diya, bao, mala party diya, all this shit. The cab comes outside, my wife is like, let's go. So she goes out walking, I come out crawling like a dog like this. The people waiting in the queue outside are so confused. They're like, what kind of food are they serving inside? That you go in on 2 feet, come out on 4. I am on the footpath like a dog like this. People have started recording my videos over there. This Uber SUV stops outside. My wife is so embarrassed. She covers her face, gets in. I am not able to get in. I'm like, help, please help, Chandi. I'm not able to get up. Please help. She's like, well, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. So don't do drugs is what I'm saying, okay? I did it so that you don't have to. It's called taking one for the team. But that is a day I realized that I am not meant for trying these new and wild and crazy experiences like drugs and all anymore. Because last year, I also turned 35. And 35 is not an age where you try drugs. 35 is when you try melatonin gummies. I feel like I was born to live like an old person. I'm far happier in my 30s than I was in my 20s. Like the other day, I was leaving my building, some kids were playing cricket, their ball came near me. So one boy shouted saying, Bhaiya, ball de do na. And I was like, Uncle bola sale. Bhaiya hoga tera baap, theek hai na? Really, and I have thought about this for a long time. That I want to become very old, very quickly, and live my life like an old man. I want to reach that level of old where people stop correcting you. You know that uncle who just walks around saying the most ridiculous shit. No filter uncle has. He'll call people fat, ugly, poor, anything. No filter. And nobody corrects him. Jane dena uncle abhi kya bole? What to tell uncle? I want to live that life. Because right now there is too much pressure on stand-up comedians. You can't say anything wrong. You can't say anything racist, sexist, homophobic, nothing. But if an old uncle says the same thing, you make him the head of the country. So I want to live like that. Donald Trump, this joke. Donald Trump, this joke is only about Donald Trump. Please don't clap. Please, this is for my American audiences only. Please don't relate to this joke. Telling you, far happier in my 30s and 20s. In fact, I feel like if you're in 20s, let me tell you, it gets better. Because 20s is tough, no? 20s, new job, new life, new career, new relationships, trying to impress everybody. Like, true story, in my 20s, I was so insecure, I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to be everybody's friend. I used to collect friends like Pokemon cards. Like, gotta have them all. I used to add random people to my Facebook friends list. I go to the Lutupi, there's a guy standing next to me, I have added him. Now we are both friends on Facebook for no reason. 2 weeks later, it's his birthday, I am wishing him also. Sending a personal message, I'm like, hey bro, happy birthday, what's up? He replies, thanks bro, nothing much, what's up with you? I'm like, nothing much bro. Now there's nothing left to talk. I know nothing else about this guy. So I'm trying to think of common topics of discussions. I'm like, so bro, do you still go to pee sometimes or what? Just dumb shit you do in your 20s to impress people. 30s is so much better, right? In your 30s, you wake up every morning, Facebook reminds you it is so-and-so's birthday, and you delete that person. Best life. 0 friends, best life. And I'm telling you, if you think you will not become old and boring, you are wrong. Because let me tell you a secret. There is a switch in every human being's head that flips once you cross 30. It happens one night. You don't realize it when you turn old. I remember when it happened to me. It happened to me 2 years ago. I'll tell you the story. I've been living in this apartment where my neighbors for the last couple of years are these 4 engineering college students. 4 boys live next to me. And of course, they're students, so every night they drink, smoke, party. I never disturbed them. I'm like, of course, they're kids. This is the age. Let them enjoy. But 2 years ago, one night, I heard loud music coming from their house. And my first thought by default, I heard myself say this to my wife. I was like, ये बैचलर लोगों को बिल्डिंग में घर देना ही नहीं चाहिए. Peak building uncle mode activated. Standing for society elections next week. My wife is no less. She's also turning into a behenji day by day. Because she's also 35. Last month we went out for dinner to a fancy restaurant, ordered a starter. She took one bite and she was like, "ये तो मैं घर पे भी बना सकती हूँ." I'm like, "Yeah, क्या? Don't bring this mummy energy into my life." What next? We'll start reaching airport 6 hours before the departure time. I'm telling you, when you're in your 20s, you can't take 30-year-olds seriously. You make fun of them. Once you cross 30, you can't take young people seriously. That's where I'm at right now. Gen Z, I cannot. And that's a full statement in Gen Z lingo also. I cannot. They have understood. Like, oh my God, so eloquent. Yes, queen. The aura is amazing. I don't. Who's Gen Z over here? Make some noise. Oh, bunch of you. Okay. Who's the youngest? What year are you born, sir?
2008.
2008? What's your name? Rian. What a Gen Z name, Rian. Of course, you have to be Rian and not a Mahesh, okay? Look at everybody else, okay? I want to tell you on behalf of everybody else that, yuck, that is disgusting. Okay? 2008 is not a year to be born in. 2008 is disgustingly young, dude. You were born 7 years after Dil Chahta Hai also, dude. That's how I measure people's age. Before Dil Chahta Hai, after Dil Chahta Hai. That's my Christianity, okay? Don't take it personally. Okay, good for you, Riyan. You're young. You have a whole life ahead of you. I'll tell you what my problem is, Riyan. I was born in 1989. They're laughing at that also. I don't know why. The problem is because I'm 89 born, all my friends and social circles who I hang out with are around my age range. They're like 84, 85 born, or on the younger side, 94, 95, 96 born. That's the circle that I exist within. So I have a psychological block. I cannot comprehend the fact that there are people who can be born after the year 99, who can now be grown-up, mature adults. I'm telling you, if you're born after the year 99, to me, you will always remain a sperm. I cannot take you seriously. I'm telling you, tomorrow, if I have an accident and if I'm taken to a hospital for a surgery, and if in the middle of my surgery I find out that my doctor was born in 2008, I'll be like, you get out, and I will eat a croissant instead. I trust croissant more than Gen Z. Because croissant has been around for 30, 40 years, all right. Croissant has invested in mutual funds. Croissant has bought Daikin from a medical store. And I know this is the point in the show where sometimes people ask me, Sapan, why are you making fun of Gen Z? And the real reason is because that is the only thing that I can do as a millennial. Because honestly, deep inside, millennials are super insecure and jealous of Gen Zs. Because Gen Z, obviously, like every generation, is far smarter than the previous generation. I have a lot of Gen Z friends doing cool things, doing multiple jobs and side hustles, talking about mental health very publicly and openly. And one thing I've noticed, Gen Zs actually care about climate change and global warming. Mainly because they have to live through this mess. Millennials, let's be honest, we say we care about global warming, but deep inside, millennials are like employees on their notice period. Mentally, we have checked out. Somebody like glaciers are melting, you're like, well, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. I'm out of here. And I'll tell you what, the only thing I miss about being in my 20s, I don't have the Gen Z excitement and energy in me anymore. I've become too jaded. Like last year, I went to Dubai for a show. I was traveling with this young 21-year-old opening act, okay, this boy. We both checked into our hotel rooms. He immediately called me. He's like, sir, let's go skydiving near Burj Khalifa. And I was like, why? Sir, I want thrill and adrenaline rush. Thrill and adrenaline rush. Do you know what people in their 30s do for thrill and adrenaline rush? Full body health checkups. That's where the real thrill is. आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं. Let's find out what is wrong with our bodies. Do we have a B12 deficiency? Do we have a fatty liver? Or is my artery choked and I'm going to collapse any minute? There is no social message in this show as such, but if there's one takeaway for you, please take care of your bodies once you cross 30. Because millennials or Gen Zs, we are not the fittest generation. Always slouching in front of some screen somewhere. And once you cross 30, these things start showing up. Once you cross 30, body parts you did not even know existed start paining. You're like, अच्छा ये भी था क्या body में पता ही नहीं था. Lower back pain is not a problem anymore, it's a way of life. People in the 30s talk about lower back pain like it's a first child. कि हाँ मेरा 2.5 साल का हो गया रात को परेशान करता है तेरा कैसे? You gotta take care of your bodies. Gotta do full body health checkup. I did one last year. Okay, 6-hour long checkup. Everything was good. All the reports were good. But towards the end of the checkup, they took me to the eye doctor because I also wear specs. So I met this doctor, good guy. So he asked name. I said Sapan Verma. He said occupation. I said stand-up comedian. He suddenly got excited. He's like, oh, you're a stand-up comedian. This one more comedian comes to me very regularly. I'm forgetting his name. What is his name? Abhimanyu. Abhishek. I said Abhishek Upanyu. He's like, yeah, that guy. He comes to me. I'm sorry, Sapan, I don't watch stand-up, but my wife told me that he's very, very popular. Do you know him? I said, yeah, Upanyu is a friend of mine. He's like, what are you saying? Is he that big that he can fill up like a 1,000-seater auditorium? I'm like, of course he can any day of the week. He's like, what are you saying? Is he that big that he can fill up like a 10,000-seater stadium? I'm like, I'm sure it's Upanyu, you can do it. He's like, wow, that big, huh? Very impressive. What about you? Can you fill up 10,000? I'm like, no, sir, I'm not that popular. He's like, what about 1,000? I'm like, no, sir, like 500 like अपना काम करो ना यार. ठीक है, पापा वाले सवाल पूछ रहे हो कितना कमा लेते हो, कितना बेच लेते हो. Just look into my eye, tell me what is wrong with my eye and let me go. What do you see in my eye? He's like, actually, I can see one tear rolling down your eye. That's what it is. But I'm going to end with one story, okay? And I'm going to end with this story because this is the main reason I wrote this show and I started traveling with this show last year despite just having a baby. Because here's the thing. There is this one new scam going around in our metro cities. This scam is happening in fine dining restaurants. And it is called Chef's Tasting Meals. Some of you sound like victims of the scam already. If you have not fallen into this, take notes. Because last year, on my 35th birthday, my wife made this plan. She came up to me, she said, Sapan, every birthday you do the same thing. You order 2 paneer tikka rolls from Swiggy. And you watch 2 episodes of Friends on Netflix and then you go to sleep. But this is your 35th birthday. It's a milestone birthday. We have a baby coming on the way. So I wanted to make tonight special. So to surprise you, I made a reservation 2 months ago. Tonight we are going to a fine dining restaurant. It is one of Asia's top 50 restaurants. In my head, I knew it's a terrible idea. I don't understand this fancy fine dining food. I feel like Indian street food, best food in the world. Yeah? Vada pav, sev puri, pani puri, dosas, pav bhaji. Love all this stuff. Love all this stuff for 3 reasons. Number 1, it is cheap. Number 2, it is quick. And number 3, next morning, always a surprise. You spend 50 rupees, but emotionally you're invested for at least 24 hours. Great ROI in my opinion. So I knew it's a terrible idea, but here's the thing, I did not say a word. I did not say a word because I have been in a relationship for a long time now. I know how these games work. A lot of this new age young couples have this problem where they're like, let's be fully transparent with each other. Let's be vulnerable. Let's express our feelings completely. Let's not hide anything from each other, but let's also not gaslight. I'm like, bullshit. Experienced couples know this. Don't say anything. Let the incident happen. And then if your partner is wrong, bring it up in every argument for the next 10 years. That is your trump card every time you're losing an argument. The stakes don't even have to match. Why did you cheat on me? Why did you take me to fine dining 7 years ago? Game over, you win, good night. So I was playing the long game with this, but obviously she's my wife, she knows for a long time. So she said, Sapan, I know you don't like fancy food, but I think tonight you will really enjoy because the restaurant that we're going to tonight, they are serving us a 10-course meal for dinner. 10 course सुन के I genuinely got excited. क्योंकि मैंने लाइफ में कभी 10 कोर्स मील नहीं खाया है. मेरे तो ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर तीनों मिला के 10 कोर्स नहीं होता. तो आई गॉट एक्साइटेड, लाइक ओ माय गॉड 10 कोर्स मील वो इतना सारा खा देंगे. एक काम करते आज लंच भी नहीं करते, सीधे जाके डिनर करेंगे. टिपिकल मिडिल क्लास थिंकिंग. पूरा वसूलना है. वैसे भी लंच में लौकी बनी थी, किसको खाना है लौकी? हमने पक्का लंच नहीं करते, सीधे जाके डिनर करेंगे. She was like, okay, sounds good. Only one problem, Sapan. I can't find this restaurant's menu online because they're a very exclusive kind of place. So can you call them up? Ask them to share the menu on WhatsApp so we can decide what we'll order once we get there. I said, cool. I called this restaurant. This guy picked up. I said, sir, we have a reservation tonight. Please share the menu. He says, sir, there is no menu. I said, why? He's like, because it's a chef's tasting meal. I was like, huh? I was like, what does that mean? He said, it means that our head chef will come in and decide what he will be preparing for you guys tonight. And I was like, okay, sir, I only have one doubt कि आज birthday मेरा है कि chef का है? नहीं, क्योंकि मैं वहाँ आ रहा हूँ, पैसे मैं लगा रहा हूँ, वो क्यों decide करेगा मैं क्या खाऊंगा? उसने आके लौकी बना रही तो मेरा तो कट गया ना? You tell me, how can the chef decide? Imagine it's like going to a hospital for a heart surgery. You reach there, the doctor is like, नहीं bro, आज मेरा kidney transplant का ही mood है. अब आगे तो आज kidney कर ले, heart अगले हफ्ते करते, let's go. So I started arguing with this guy. I'm like, sir, how can you do this? We made this reservation a month ago. He started pacifying me in very posh English. He's like, actually, Mr. Verma. पहले तो कोई भी Mr. Verma बोलता है, मेरी वहीं फट जाती कि पापा आ गए क्या यहाँ पे? Who is Mr. Verma over here? He's like, actually, Mr. Verma, that's a format. We are a 10-course chef's tasting menu, fine dining restaurant. Trust me, Mr. Verma, you will have a great time because we only use organic and seasonal, authentic, indigenous Indian ingredients. उसने इतनी इंग्लिश बोली कि मैं कन्विंस ही हो गया. I was like, इंग्लिश इतनी बढ़िया था, सोचो खाना और कितना बढ़िया होगा. Again, typical middle class thinking. Good English means good person. That's how the British entered our country also. So he spoke so much English, I got impressed. Now I'm trying to impress him with my English. I'm like, wow, sir, sounds delightful. We will be there. See you, ciao. Ciao and all I'm saying. That's not even English. He's like, Mr. Verma, just one question. Any allergens on the table? Any lactose intolerance? Any gluten allergy? Now the thing is, now I don't respond to this because I have an allergy, but it's a really dumb allergy. I am allergic to pineapple. And the problem with being allergic to pineapple is that nobody gives you sympathy. When you tell them you're allergic to pineapple, people laugh and leave. And it's a very sad allergy to have because see, if you don't like any other comedian's jokes, you have to file an FIR, go to the police or break down the venue. If you don't like my joke, you throw a pina colada on my face, I'm fucked. That's all my enemies need. One cocktail. So he said, any lactose intolerance, any gluten? I'm like, no, sir, all good, we'll be there. See you, ciao, ciao. I'm saying ciao and all again. So I got very excited. My wife got excited. We got dressed up. Went down to this place. Very fancy restaurant. Too fancy, if I'm being honest. Too fancy. We entered. One cricketer is dining on one table. One fashion designer is dining on one table. Those waiters were so posh and fancy, wearing 3-piece suit, gelled hair, speaking fluent English. वो waiters को देख के लग रहा था खाने के बाद ये लोग मुझे टिप देंगे. तो मैं कटोरी में सौंफ और मिश्री इकट्ठी कर रहा हूँ, टूथपिक लगा रहा हूँ, सब कर रहा हूँ. Because I can't give this waiter 100-200 rupees a step. उसको मुझे अपनी प्रॉपर्टी में हिस्सा ही देना पड़ेगा भाई. So fancy. So this waiter comes and like, Mr. Verma, I'll be your server for tonight. Let me take you, escort you to the table. Now while we were walking there, I realized, and this is my test as a person, this is my test to find out how fancy a place is. I always use their bathroom. Okay, so he's like, your table is right this way. And I was like, actually, can I use the toilet, please? And my wife is like, who says toilet to school, mein? And this waiter is like, yes, Mr. Verma, the cloak room is right this way. I'm like, cloak room, huh? Too fancy. I went inside, super fancy place, bigger than my house. The wash basin was so fancy, उधर कुछ lever ही था चालू करने के लिए. 2-3 minutes I tried doing this, did this. Became a flamenco artist, could not turn it on. I'm like, I don't have enough bank balance to turn on this tap. Went out, sat down on a table, and when the dinner began is when I realized this, that apparently a chef's tasting meal is literally what it means. Tasting means चखना. वो 10 बार इतना सा खाना ला के रखते हैं सिर्फ चखने के लिए. इतना सा खाना देते हैं, आप खाते हो, पूछते कैसा लगा, मैंने बोला बहुत बढ़िया. दे बोले हाँ बस खत्म. That was the entire night. 10 times this much food. And on top of this, the problem is in the name of this Indian fusion food, these restaurants are serving anything these days. We sat down, this waiter came, he's like, Mr. Verma, the first course is on the way. It's Arugula Pani Puri. I googled there only. What is Arugula? Found out that Arugula is apparently a very healthy leaf that is put in salads. Who is missing this in Pani Puri? आप में से कोई है यहाँ पे जो सड़क पे 20 रुपए के गोलगप्पे खाते टाइम बोलता भैया पानी बढ़िया है, चटनी भी टेस्टी है, पर जब तक वो NRI मेथी दाग में ना फंसे मजा कहाँ से आएगा? Who is asking for this? और उसने मेरे सामने ला के रखी exactly एक पूरी. One for me, one for my wife. I asked him, what is this? बोलता first course. I lost it. I'm like, अच्छा हुआ मैंने एक प्लेट पानी पूरी नहीं मांगी, आप बोलते 6 कोर्स नहीं खत्म हो गए. So again, he started pacifying me like, actually, Mr. Verma, this is something we call an amuse-bouche. It's like a palate cleanser before we begin. And I'm like, भैया मैंने ना सुबह से कुछ नहीं खाया है. He doesn't care. Because he has one job. Go to the kitchen, pick up the dish, bring it out, and just start the backstory like a viva for no reason. He brought the second course, खुद ही शुरू हो गया. बोलता this is condensed cucumber compressed overnight with freshly squeezed lime juice, diced tomatoes, and some finely chopped coriander. I was like, भैया ये सलाद है. सलाद है, सैलेड भी नहीं है ये वाला सलाद है, सलाद. अगर इसको सैलेड बोला तो पहले इसमें अरुगुला डालो. और इसको इतना ओवर एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. मुंबई में सबको पता है ये क्या है, क्योंकि शिवसागर वाले इसको थैली में पार्सल करके ऐसे घर भेजते हैं. ऐसे आता है, ऐसे ही डस्टबिन में जाता है, ठीक है ना? Now here's the problem. I was finding this food weird, my wife was finding it weird, but people were loving it because that's why I realized one thing. And please don't take it personally if you are one of those people. But I feel like people who are born and raised in big cities like Mumbai and Delhi, who have not seen India outside these cities, very easy to fool these people. Very easy because they have no context of India. I was born and raised in MP. I've seen small towns, villages, fields. I've tried these things. ये लोग कुछ भी पागल हो रहे हैं. ये वेटर लेके आया फोर्थ कोर्स, बोलता प्रेजेंटिंग जैक फ्रूट कबाब्स. मुंबई वालों को जैक फ्रूट सुन के दिमाग खराब हो गया. These are the kind of things they're discussing, like, oh my god, jackfruit, that is so exotic. Where does it grow? How do you import it? At what temperature do you store it? Is it farm to table? मैं मेरी वाइफ को बोल रहा हूँ हम लोग इतने दूर कटहल खाने आए. कटहल. मेरे पापा कटहल घर लाते, मम्मी काटती नहीं कि चाकू खराब हो जाएगा. कि लोग कटहल में पागल हो रहे हैं. One more lesson I learned that day, that the richer people get, the dumber they become. Because in the middle of all of this, people had doubts also. He got this one course which was a fairly simple course according to me. It was mushroom curry and sourdough bread. You guys know sourdough bread? Again, new scam these days. If you don't know, sourdough bread basically looks like garlic bread, but it tastes like cardboard. Okay. It's like eating MDF food, okay? That's what it is. Supposed to be healthy for you because once you take one bite, all your teeth fall off. You can't eat anything anymore. Two people need to hold like industrial equipment to cut it like this for 2 days. Last time I went to Bougie Cafe, guy next to me was cutting it. It cut, bounced and entered my mouth. I'm like, thank you, that was a good bread. So he got this mushroom curry, sourdough bread. I was about to eat it. I swear to you, auntie on the next table goes, excuse me, waiter, how are we supposed to consume this? I was like, consume की बात कहाँ से आ गई आंटी? ब्रेड है, करी है. या तो ब्रेड को करी में डुबा के खा लो, या करी को ब्रेड पे लगा के खा लो. नहीं, यही दो ऑप्शन दिख रहे हैं मुझे. यू टेल मी, इसमें तीसरा रॉकेट साइंस क्या हो सकता है? आपको लगता है वेटर आके बोलेगा नहीं मैडम, पहले करी को मुंह में डालो, कुल्ला करो और फिर थूक दो, फिर नाक के जरिए ब्रेड डाला तो बीच में स्वाद बन के आएगा. What are rich people tripping on? I have no idea. Somehow these like 5-6 courses got over. I am sitting this waiter is out again giving some vibe or saying something. Basically, long story short, he said main course mein pasta is on the way. So obviously, in a tiny bowl, he got exactly 4 pieces of penne pasta. 4. I am not exaggerating. Exaggerate करूँगा भी क्या कि भाई 3 थे 4 बोल दिया. हाँ. 4 pieces. I counted. I thought I had counted wrong. I asked my wife to count also. She also counted. 2-factor authentication we did. 4 pieses of pasta. To be honest, I was not shocked by the quantity by now because 7 courses had passed by now. But he put it on the table. I was going to take a bite. This waiter suddenly appears again, starts pouring some thin green liquid from the top. तब मुझे लगा कि पास्ता का सॉस होगा. यही पता कि पास्ता के सॉस होते हैं, व्हाइट सॉस, रेड सॉस, पिंक सॉस, पेस्टो सॉस. मुझे लगा कुछ सॉस डाल रहा होगा. ये पतला सा लिक्विड डाले जा रहा है, कटोरी ऊपर तक भर गई है. So now it is looking like finger bowl. तो मैं हाथ धोने पहुंच गया बीच में. I tripped my finger like, Mr. Verma, what are you doing? I said, what are you doing? बोलता, sir, this is the most famous signature dish. I said, what is it? I swear to you, not exaggerating even 1%. He said this. He said, our most famous signature dish, pasta with rasam and kadi patta on it. Organic and seasonal, authentic, indigenous Indian ingredients. Pasta with rasam and kadi patta. That's when I realized, I'm like, bro, this is not fine dining, this is drunk cooking. ये वाले एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हम सब लोग रात को 2:30 बजे कर चुके हैं. When Swiggy, Zomato stop delivering, fridge खोलो, जो दिख रहा है मिला के बना दो. ये लोग भी ये करने में लगे हुए हैं. Somehow finished this main course okay. I was highly disappointed. My wife is also disappointed. But we're not able to say anything because obviously very fancy place and everybody else is loving the food. So I'm बैठा हूँ, I've just given up on life. Okay. Now here's the thing. If I'm sitting here, this waiter comes, stands next to me, and for some reason this time leans in and whispers into my ear. He's like, Mr. Verma, are you ready for dessert? And I was like, sir, there is no need to be so sensual about this. Like, what is it? Are you the dessert? That if I say, yes, I am ready, look, let's go, pav chika, wow, wow. Why are you being so slutty? What's the protocol here? But obviously, I didn't say this. This was my inner monologue. Mentally, I had already checked out of this place. When he said, are you ready for dessert? I just said, yes, I'm ready. The thing is, the minute I said, yes, I'm ready, he did this one gesture that I've only seen happen in fancy movies, where he looked towards the kitchen and he did this. और फिर किचन से 3 वेटर दौड़ते हुए मेरी तरफ आए. तो पहले तो मेरी फट गई, क्या हो गया यार? इनको पता चलेगा मैंने चम्मच चुराई का. कैमरा लगा यहाँ पे. क्रिकेटर को देखो ना, मुझे को देख रहे हो यार. Then they surrounded a table from all the sides. Okay. One waiter took out a tiny chocolate cake, put it on the table. Second waiter applying marshmallows from the side, burning it with a lighter like this. Third waiter pouring molten hot chocolate from the top like this, धुआं बना के. And I'm sure आप लोगों ने ये videos भी देखे होंगे, reels और shorts पे. This is a new trend these days in fancy restaurants where the staff comes and prepares a dish in front of you on the table. And personally, I find this trend extremely irritating. Because I'm like, तुम्हारे पास अंदर kitchen है ना काम करने को? तो खत्म कर क्या होना है? What is this last minute submission से पहले homework करे यहाँ पे खड़े होके? क्या करूँ मैं इसका देख के? कि ओहो क्या डाला आपने मजा आ गया? और अगर बना आ रहे हो, खिला आ रहे हो, तो फिर ले आओ स्कॉच ब्राइट ऑफ इम्बार भी। यही साथ में धोते सुखाते शर्ट करा के घर चलते एक साथ, और क्या यही बचा है? Somehow I ate this dessert, okay. Just mentally given up. I told my wife, चलें घर चलें, bill मंगाए. She's like, Sapan, it's a fancy restaurant. They don't say bill, they say check. So I also turned towards the kitchen and I was like, check please. This waiter came running. He's like, Mr. Verma, we just found out that it's your special day. So only for your table, we have one more exclusive dessert on the way. मैं रो दिया, मैं भैया प्लीज घर जाना, प्लीज मुझे घर जाना है, प्लीज घर जाना है भाई। जो मैंने स्विगी से 2 पनीर टिक्का रोल ऑर्डर किए हैं, वो लड़का 13 मिनट में घर पहुंच रहा है। कम से कम वो तो मत सड़ा हुआ ही मेरा अच्छा खाना भैया प्लीज। So like, it's okay sir, we'll take your leave. No, Mr. Verma, I insist that you stay. I said, why? Well, I insist that you stay because this is a seasonal dessert only for this week. If you come back next week, you will not get this. I'm like, next week, my ass, I'm never coming here, dude. What confidence लग रहा है मैं खाने ये अगले हफ्ते आ रहा हूँ, अगले महीने भी नहीं. So I said, no sir, we are very full. The Mr. Verma, just give me 2 minutes. I'll quickly bring it out. Let me build some curiosity for you and the missus. It is gooseberry sorbet. आमला की आइसक्रीम ले आया यार वो, यक, आमला की आइसक्रीम मेरे बर्थडे पे। जिस दिन आमला का बर्थडे होगा वो खुद आमला की आइसक्रीम नहीं मांगेगा यार। Finally, after eating that disgusting dessert and paying off that bill of 10,000 rupees plus taxes, I'm not kidding. Can you imagine? Look at the guts. 10,000 plus. They want taxes also for this. The minute I paid off that bill and walked out of that restaurant, I swore to myself there and then that I will write a full 20-minute routine about this chef's tasting meal scam. Go on tour and expose this scam to every Indian citizen that I know, so that nobody else has to fall into this scam like I did. I will not let this happen to my fellow citizens. Okay, so next week I sat down to write these jokes. That the problem is, उस दिन जब मैं गया था, it was my birthday, and obviously I was not prepared for such a shocking and overwhelming experience. तो उस दिन I forgot to take down the names of all these dishes. You know, ये सब जो भी खाया है, ये gooseberry, ये sourdough and all. So when I sat down to write the jokes, I could not remember anything what I ate. So then, just to be able to write this set next week, I had to go again. This waiter went crazy like, Mr. Verma, so glad you're back. We have a new seasonal dessert for you. I was like, what is it? He's like, pineapple souffle. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Sapan. That's my time.
Hello, thank you so much for watching the video. I am on tour with a brand new show. We're starting the tour this month and all the tickets for all the major metro cities are live. I am also coming to Dubai, that is also live. London and Bahrain tickets will be live soon. But for now, if you live in Gurgaon, Noida, Mumbai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Hyderabad, these cities are already live. I'm adding a lot more very soon. Chandigarh is also live, and many more are coming up. So please get your tickets. I'll put the link in the description here. They're on my website sapanverma.in, and they're also on my Instagram bio. Come watch a live comedy show. I assure you will have a great time. Bye.